Hello, and welcome to yet another Doctor Who review. Now, today, of course, as I'm doing all the reviews in order, I'm going to do my third challenge review. This is the third episode of the series that I have recently started, and of course this review will be of the Christopher Eccleston story, The Unquiet Dead, and I just dropped my notes on the floor. Okay, right, so here I have made notes, as you can see, and if you're wondering, that is the plot, because I feel that the plot for this episode is so good, I'm just going to have to make it as good as I can. So, this episode was written by Mark Gatiss, who is probably one of the best writers of the revived series, because this is his first televised story. And so, if I just tell you what the cast is, it stars Christopher Eccleston as the Doctor, Ninth Doctor, and it stars Billie Piper, who plays Rose Tyler. So now I shall read you the plot. Okay, let's read my very long plot to help you get a synopsis of the story. The Doctor is planning to take Rose to Naples for Christmas, but instead they arrive in Cardiff, 1869, to much of Rose's surprise. The dead are walking the streets, and the local undertaker, Mr. Sneed, is keeping a dark secret. A paranormal event happens at a local theatre, where the Doctor meets Charles Dickens and together join forces to take on an alien species who call themselves the Gelf, voiced by Nicholas Briggs. As the space-time rift runs through the city, will the Doctor be able to save everyone? So that's my plot that I've written down there. I try to write all my plots down in my own words. If there's a plot which in a different episode that I find really difficult to put down, I'll probably just search on the internet for a brief summary, and just steal that and put it on the notepad. Now, of course, I have some good points and bad points. And I have 15 good points, because this episode for me is just one of my favourite historical stories from the revived series. Not that, I don't think there are many, but I think there are quite a few in the revived series. So I'll just start with the first one. The story is just absolutely amazing. I really can't find anything wrong with it. It's just so damn scary, and that's one of the other good points I'll come to in a minute. And also, the acting, of course, is brilliant. There are great performances throughout. It's really difficult to just decide a best performance, but I have given a best performance, but we'll get to that later. Also, this is the first Doctor Who story to have actually scared me, because after watching the episode, I like to record the episodes, because we didn't have Sky, so we had them on video. I recorded them on video, and the next day, well, not the next day, but my mum forgot to record it that night. And I was very glad she did, because I didn't really want to watch that episode again, because it actually did give me nightmares, and I'll tell you why at some point in the good points. And of course, the Gelf, I think, are really good monsters. I think they're just really interesting, and they are the last of their kind, as they, so to speak, and so it's kind of a similarity to the Doctor, of course. Until the end of time, we realise. Until the end of time, well, before the end of time, we know that the Doctor is the only Time Lord left until a hint gives away in the episode Gridlock, but the hint sort of origins in New Earth. And also, I really like the setting. It really sets the whole historical element of the episode, because you know me, I love historical stories. Not that I did history GCSE, I just love historical stories in Doctor Who because they always handle it really well, and especially in the revived series. Like Vincent and the Doctor, that was a really emotional episode, and it was really good. And let's have a look. Also, the characters, I think, are really written brilliantly, because we had one of the more important assets in the this Doctor Who story, of course, is Charles Dickens, who I mentioned in the plot, and he's played by Simon Cowell, I think. Not Cow. It's not Simon, from X Factor or Britain's Got Talent or whatever you call it. It's got the same kind of similar name, but it's not Simon Cowell, but it's Simon Callow. Yeah, Simon Callow. That's it. I think he was perfect to play Charles Dickens. I thought he was just outstanding, and Christopher Eccleston is good. Billy Piper is good, and I prefer Rose in Series 1 than Series 2. I think I've said that before, but that's just my opinion. But you can tell me if you like her in Series 2 or whatever. The pre-title sequence is scary as well. Just looking at it, like towards the end of the pre-title sequence, that's just it's scary. The old Gelf zombie walking up, and speaking of the zombies, the Gelf zombies, they look really good. I mean, for Doctor Who, they look proper scary. Almost, they're actually contesting with the Walking Dead zombies. Because I can't decide whether the ones in Doctor Who are better than the ones in The Walking Dead, because, I mean, having zombies in Doctor Who, that's really quite dark. Like, the dead are walking the streets, that is quite dark for Doctor Who. And I'm glad that was in the Christopher Eccleston series, because that would have suited Christopher Eccleston's Doctor perfectly. And also we've got it's a great historical story, like I said. The costumes really do suit the setting, and they really suit the characters, and they're just brilliantly designed. And the script, brilliant as always. Mark Gatiss, fantastic script from him. And the brilliant casting. I think the casting for this was absolutely amazing. I can't remember, the only ones I can remember from the top of my head, Christopher Eccleston, Billy Piper and Simon Callow. That's about it. I don't know who plays Mr. Sneed or Mrs. Pierce, I don't know who plays them, but they're still good. I like those characters. They're really sort of interesting, and of course, I think Eve Miles is in this. She plays Gwyneth. Is that it? Gwyneth? And if that is Eve Miles, then she basically played a character with the same name in Torchwood. That she was called Gwen in Torchwood. But I think that's maybe why they chose her to play Gwen. Not because she was called Gwyneth in The Unquiet Dead, but she's just a brilliant actress. And that's another cast member that could be included. And the ending, just love the ending when Charles Dickens sees the TARDIS dematerialise. That was brilliant, brilliantly directed. And it's quite funny as well, because he sort of laughs and then walks away. I really like that, because he's not confused or whatever. He just laughs and walks away. I think that works quite well. And that's pretty much my good points. And I'll tell you a key point for this story. The Rift is actually a key point in Series 1. because it's also appeared again in Boomtown with a Slovene. And it's also quite an initial point in the first two series of Torchwood. And if you haven't watched Torchwood, I strongly recommend you do, because Torchwood is just beast. And now we go on to the back part of the bit of paper that I've made notes on. I only have one bad point, and that's not even a very big thing. It's just there's just a small drag at the beginning of the episode. I mean, I think a lot of episodes have that, but and that's the only problem I've got with the episode, because I really can't find anything wrong with it. Unless you guys think there's anything wrong with it, then please comment down below. And so now I have to give best performance, and the best performance I think for this episode would have to be Simon Callow, who plays Charles Dickens. I think I probably gave that away during the good points section of this review, because I think he steals the show. He just does. I would have given it to possibly Billie Piper, because she was quite good in this, but yeah, Simon Callow just beats her, just being her very slightly, because I think he's just a great Charles Dickens. I think he probably was made for the role, but if that makes sense. But yeah, and of course I have to give my personal rating. My personal rating for this episode, The Unquiet Dead, will be a 10 out of 10. So that means The Unquiet Dead gets a 10 out of 10, because I think it deserves a 10 out of 10. And I have to stop saying 10 out of 10, because I'm going to keep saying it, and it's going to get really annoying. So that pretty much concludes my review of The Unquiet Dead. Now, this review has been really enjoyable, because it's a really good episode, and I like to review really good episodes, and that will probably make the review better, I hope. So, thanks for watching. This review is longer than the others, I think, and so I better stop here. So what do you think of The Unquiet Dead? Comment down below, tell me what you think, and you can press the like button, and yeah, I can see you next time for the review of Aliens of London and World War III. Okay, so thanks for watching, and goodbye.